Okay. Shut the office door, love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I switch to gallery view?
No, not until everybody joins. At least one person joins.
Nobody's joined.
Then let me put you on spotlight till someone else joins.
Oh, okay, no one's joined.
No, they are there, but they are in the waiting room.
Oh, I see.
Because there are only two
I
of us, so they don't need to put anybody on spotlight.
Pardon?
Just now there are two people in the call, so you just would see each other. So there is no spotlight. Okay, I'll let everybody in.
Okay, love.
Okay, Bobbie. Okay, you can start.
Awesome. Thank you, love. And good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are on the planet today. Welcome to an adapted seated yoga practice. My name is Bobbie, and my pronouns are she, her, and I gleefully am a certified yoga therapist with IYT, the International Association of Yoga Therapists. And delighted as always to have the opportunity to share what I often refer to as India's gift to the world, yoga. And so I'd like to begin by inviting you to make sure you have what you need to set yourself up comfortably in your chair. Everything we do today will be done seated, and I believe that you'll be delighted to discover just how full of practice we can have seated in our chair. And so a few of the things that I like to have when I do my yoga practice is maybe a little cushion, a pillow, something that I can place on my lap that has a little bit of weight to it. And so that can help encourage a grounding sensation. Apparently, I'm told that it can help with fatigue. I also like to have a yoga mat nearby. I have a yoga mat that I've had forever that could have multiple uses. So one of my favorite ways to use it seated in the chair is to sometimes place it along the spine. And so particularly if you're a person living with a disability, having a rolled up yoga mat along the spine can encourage sitting up nice and tall. And also at the end of the practice, I'll speak to it when we get there, but it can be used to actually maybe recline back on when we come into the meditation and final relaxation part of the class. And so today, as I frequently do, I like to share a little piece of writing. I mean, I've become a little bit of a poetry geek in recent years, but I also love reading books. Mostly I'm doing audio these days, not so much hardcover or soft cover. But one of the little books that has come into my world that I love is called One Drum, and it's written by a fellow called Richard Wagamies, and I know that he passed away a few years ago. Brilliant, indigenous, and I think I'll just read what I opened the page up to this morning. If it resonates with you, wonderful. If not, I'd like to invite you to maybe just set it aside. So Richard Wagamese, and this is a lovely photo that goes, the image, trees. There is a shaman in all of us. We're all teachers. And certainly that's my belief. We're all teachers. And so that said, I'd like to invite you to begin by finding a comfortable sitting position. And sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands into your heart space. So it might be palms together, palms open. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, I'd like to suggest that you choose another placement for your hands. A gentle reminder that we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And then as you're ready, lift your heart, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation just to take a few moments to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. And setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga class, for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, gradually blink your eyes open. We are falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. And so an invitation now to repose. I'd like to invite you to find a space, if possible, where you are supporting, where you're able to support your own spine. Come away from the back of the chair enough so that you feel that you're sitting forward on your sits bones. That said, if you need or would like the back of the chair for support, honor that. Might be a rolled up yoga mat. So feel free to modify or adapt any way that feels comfortable for you. And so ground down to your sits bones. So the bones we sit on, maybe noticing where your hips and your bum are in contact with your seat. Lengthen up through the spine. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then as you're ready, I'd like to invite you to reach your arm up. So I'm not going to cue left, right. In our body's wisdom, we tend to go to the side the sleeves tight first. And so reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. 3 more times, same side, gentle movement, reaching up towards the sky. So if it feels okay for your neck, maybe turn a soft gaze up. Then slowly float your arm down. So this time, let's explore linking our breath with our movement. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side, then on your lap. And let's explore this gentle movement on the other side. As ready, reach your opposite arm up as high as feels comfortable for you. And slowly float your arm down. 3 more times, same side, gentle movement, reaching up towards the sky. So maybe turning a soft gaze up. That feels okay for your neck. And then slowly float your arm down. This time, let's explore linking our breath with our movement. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down the full length of your exhale. So as if on your inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. So relax both arms down wherever feels most comfortable for you. And I'd like to encourage you, if you're blessed with a yoga buddy, the yoga buddy can help guide the movements, setting an intention of loving kindness, of course, and with your guidance and not doing the work for you, you're guiding the movements as we move into perhaps lifting both arms up to the sky. If it feels okay for your neck, take a look between your palms. Notice if they're facing each other, and then return your gaze on the horizon. And then palms face down, release. And a little wiggly fidget. So I'd like to suggest as a theme for the class today, I am, I can, and I will. Feel free to set your own intention if you'd like. So set an intention. A theme can be a really powerful practice if it's done sincerely. And so let's repose. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then I'd like to invite you, if it feels comfortable for you, to close your eyes softly or a soft gaze downwards. Then notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over your hips, chin in parallel with the floor. Bring a gentle awareness to your breath. Place one hand on your belly and maybe noticing that as we inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. And maybe placing another hand on your heart space and noticing the pattern of movement of the breath between your abdomen and your upper torso. And maybe change placement of your hands. And then let's see if we can invite the breath to be just a little bit longer than it was when we began. Notice the length of the exhale. So we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So I'd like to encourage you during your yoga practice, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to this deep, easeful breath. So if your eyes were closed, gradually blink your eyes open. And maybe a little wiggly fidget, so feel free to repose. And so if you happen to be joining the class for the first time today, I'd like to welcome you. I hope that you fall in love with yoga. And I always, at the end of the class, provide a few moments for questions and conversation. And so it's a little bit challenging for me to teach a class and respond to questions during the class. So if you have some, by all means, save them. And I'll speak to them at the end of the class. And my awesome tech host, Kasser, will help facilitate that. And so let's repose. Make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor or on your footrests if you are a wheelchair user. Your sits bones are sharp on the chair. Our spine is long, shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands together. Rub your palms together a little. And take your hands apart. Notice a bit of warmth, heat between your hands. And so I always like to share that our hands are connected to not only to our heart, but to our mind as well. And then rub your palms together again. This time, as you're rubbing your hands together, notice where in your body you feel you're holding stress or tension. See if you can take some of that loving energy from your hands, or maybe you have a worker bee, or not a worker bee, someone there helping. They could place their hands on whatever part of your body you feel you need a little extra TLC right now. So allow your body to absorb the loving energy from your hands. And rub your palms together again. And this time, you may think of a new place where you could use a little extra TLC. And place your hands there, open to receive. So I have a little bunny rabbit. His name is EB. He's napping right now, so he's probably not going to come hopping into the screen video. However, if you do see him, don't be surprised. He's a real deal. And I sometimes like to do this palming with my loved ones, friends, maybe students, my bunny. And then you just take a moment, sitting up nice and tall. I'd like to invite you now to transition with me into a warm up, beginning with our neck. Bring your chin gently towards your chest. And so in your time, as you feel your neck is ready, turn a soft gaze looking up. Your hands can be resting on your lap or by your side, wherever feels comfortable. And then let's continue this gentle warm up for the cervical area of our spine. Now finish up the movement that you're on, sitting up nice and tall. Bring your head back to center and then take one ear towards your shoulder. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. And then move your head back and forth. So from side to side. And I want you to notice, how does it feel to maybe tuck your chin in a little bit? Slightly. That can help quiet the mind. And then bring your head back center, sitting up tall. As ready, turn a soft gaze looking towards your shoulder. Only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then turn your head from side to side. So it's as if we're nodding no. If you'd like to add a little half smile, a little Buddha smile. Smiling releases saliva. So you want a nice juicy mouth, juicy body. And then as ready, bring your head back center. And take a moment. And then I'd like to invite you to join me in a practice I call face yoga. And so we hold a lot of tension, most of us in our face, particularly our jaw. And so we're going to make some faces, and they're not going to be particularly attractive, but hopefully it will help release some of the tension that we hold in our face. And so begin by opening your mouth wide. And relax. Open your mouth wide again this time. And see if you can bring your lips over your teeth. So lips over your teeth as you open your mouth wide. When you're ready, relax. And now I want you to see if you can pull all your facial muscles towards your nose. You just bit into a lemon. And release. Make a soft fist, bring it up to your jaw. Place it against your jaw and create resistance. So if you kind of feel around, you might notice an area of your jaw that feels particularly tender. So create resistance. And we don't want to stay there too long. You don't want to create locked jaws. We'll switch sides. And bring that same soft fist up to the middle of your forehead. So the front part of our brain, when we put gentle pressure here, this can be calming for our nervous system. And then it's ready. Reach your hand up, place it on the opposite side of your head. And again, with your chin tucked in slightly, create resistance. And other side. And release. And now if this is available to you, you might interlace your fingers, bring them to the base of your skull. Or if you have a yoga buddy, they can place their hands in the base of your skull. Alternatively, if you're a wheelchair user and you have a headrest, perhaps you can press your head against the headrest or yoga buddy against your hands. For everyone else, you press your head gently against your hands or hand. And release. And we'll shake up the way we fidget. And so let's continue moving down along the spine with a movement called cat and cow. So cat and cow are actually kitten and cow. And I say cat and cow or kitten and cow. So we are going to be flexing and extending our spine. If you know that going into a deep flexion or extension with your spine is contraindicated, your piece says kitten and cow, so you won't go as deep. Alternatively, it would be cat and cow. And so I'm actually going to turn my chair sideways, hopefully to give you a better view of what's going on with the spine. I'll have you continue to sit forward. If you are familiar with this practice, feel free to close your eyes softly as you practice, or I'm right here in the viewfinder if you need a visual. So turning that chair, sitting up nice and tall. If it's available to you, you might want to bring your feet just a little bit wider than outer hip bone distance. And what that does is create a little more space for our yoga belly, an area between our navel and our pubic bone. So hips, knees, ankles in line, hands resting on your thighs. And then as you're ready, sitting up tall, I'd like to invite you to round your back. And so I like to place my fingers at my sternum as I round my back. Draw your chest in. It's as if our chest is moving in towards the back of our ribs. And then slowly our sternum moves forward, lifts, shoulders back and down. On exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your chest in. It's as if our sternum's moving in towards the back of our ribs. And so we'll inhale, arch. So you might notice that as we arch our back, our hands naturally have a tendency to slide in towards our hips. On exhale, as we round our back, hands naturally have a tendency to slide towards our knees. If your skin is sensitive, feel free to hover above your thighs, your legs. And so an invitation to move in your own time and rhythm. Move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that the movements and your breath perhaps become one. So Keep your head in line with your spine, particularly when we arch. Sometimes a tendency can be to throw our head back. Keep your head in line with your spine. And so on inhale, arch your back. So this is a cow piece. Moo. And exhale, round your back. So this is kitten or cat. You know who you are. Meow. Inhale, arch, moo. On exhale, round, meow. And when you're ready, finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Turn my chair back, facing you. Relax your arms down by your side, whoever feels most comfortable for you. And then take a moment or two, notice how you feel. How's your breath? So our old friend, our breath. And then when you're ready, sitting up tall, take hold of one side of the chair. And then I'd like you to reach one hand towards the floor, towards the earth. And so our shoulders lined up with shoulders, sits bones stay on the chair. And so if it's helpful, you can imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass and then move from side to side. So it might be helpful as you exhale to reach towards the floor. Inhale, come back center. Exhale to the other side. Or if you are congested or you have an obstruction, breathe in whatever way you can. You might notice that as we warm up, perhaps the movements become more easeful. Maybe we're able to go a little bit deeper. So you're reaching as if you're reaching to pick something up. Remember your little half smile, your little Buddha smile. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. Then from here, we'll come into a seated twist. And so a lot of movements of the spine, huge focus on movements of the spine in yoga. And so seated twist. So for this, again, if you can bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance, go for it. Hips, knees, ankles in line. Sit up nice and tall. When you're ready, breathe in. So as we breathe in, you might notice that things expand. On exhale, things contract. And so inhale, lengthen your spine. On exhale, come on into your twist. So we're moving up one vertebrae at a time from the base of our lumbar spine, coming into the twist. Your shoulders come into it a little more, head turns last. And so let's explore moving dynamically. So twisting from side to side. This is a gentle twist. We're not going to our full range of movement. So warming up our spine. Finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side, then on your lap. And let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Right, so maybe observing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And then as ready, with your hands resting where they are, let's play a little bit of air piano. I used to play air guitar, and since I became a yoga teacher, it's air piano. And then if you'd like, maybe explore tapping from your pinkies to your thumbs. So I am, I can, and I will. And then maybe explore tapping from your thumbs to your pinkies. And then we can make this a little bit more challenging, or a lot more. Just move right to left. So these movements can be challenging. We're not accustomed to moving our hands in this way. So focus on what we can do. And then as you're ready, I'd like to invite you to rotate your wrists. And to maybe take a moment to look at your hands with appreciation for all that they do. Then rotate your wrists in the opposite direction. And then imagine that you're moving your hands through water. So water is feminine, cooling energy. And then it's ready. Push your hands away. Arms can be as high or low as you'd like. And pull your hands back. Push your hands away. Pull your hands back. So with this gentle movement, not only are we getting into all the joints in our arms, we're also getting into the area on the inside and outside of our shoulder blades. So it's like we're giving our back a little massage. We're getting that synovial fluid, Mother Nature's WD-40, going into our joints. Push your hands away, pull your hands back. Relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And check in, take a moment. How's your breath? Are you noticing any subtle sensations? And then let's dive into yoga swim. So we'll start freestyle, arms as high or low as you like. So who knew we could swim in our yoga class? And then as you're ready, backstroke. So I always like to think 3 to 4 times on each side, but whatever feels comfortable for you. This is your yoga practice. And then it's ready. How about breaststroke? I am not a professional swimmer for sure. No doubt some of you are. And then maybe side stroke. Whoosh. Other side. And then we can finish up with butterfly. And then lastly, my go-to frequently is dog paddle. And so it's interesting, one day I had someone in my class who had never swam before. And I said, here we go, let's do dog paddle. I could do that forever. Actually, it'd be fun to do that with a dog beside you in the water. Okay, and a little wiggly fidget. So I always say I like to be creative. So creativity, I found out, helps with anxiety. So a little wiggly fidget. Right, move in your own rhythm. We all have our own sense of rhythm. And so let's repose. Right? Maybe walk your hips forward in the chair a little bit, walk back, or a little bum dance. Sitting up nice and tall. So the 4 sensations I hope you experience in the yoga practice are a sensation of grounding, balance, expansion, and rhythm. So sitting up nice and tall. Now I'd like to invite you to make sure your feet, again, are placed evenly on the floor, on your footrest, or your foot plate. And then push one foot down into the earth or into the floor. And then alternatively push your opposite foot down. And I want you to notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? So that might have something to do with your hips. So we're sitting up tall, lengthen your spine, so expansion, shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then when you're ready, sitting up nice and tall, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands into your heart space. So it might be palms together, palms open. If you prefer to have your hands at your yoga belly, go for it. And so let's transition into a practice called sun breath, a meditation on the heart. So it's ready. Extend your arms up and away. So I feel comfortable with my arms today, fairly high, which is unusual. They're almost in line with my shoulders. Maybe yours are up higher, lower. And then bring your hands back to your heart space or your belly. Bow your head to your heart. That gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. So on inhale, extend your arms up and away. On exhale, this time make soft fists. So as we bring our hands back, if you make soft fists, this can be good if you have arthritis in your hands. So hands come to your heart space or your yoga belly, bowing our head to our heart. On inhale, arms extend up and away. So I'd like to invite you to imagine the sun at your heart space, your heart center. On your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale. On your exhale, this time, let's practice bumblebee breath. Make a humming sound. Inhale. So bumblebee breath is a yogic breathing technique that helps to lengthen the exhale. Inhale. One last time. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart space. And take a moment to feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And a little wiggly fidget again. So I think from here, what shall we do? I think we will transition into a side bend actually. And so sitting up tall, take hold of the underside of the chair. So I'm going to offer you three ways that you can come into a side bend. So the first one is, of course, you're sitting up tall, hold the underside of the chair, and you can maybe place your hand at your hip, or maybe placing your hand on your shoulder today feels better. So if you have shoulder stuff going on, this might be a good placement for your hand, your arm. Alternatively, maybe it feels okay as we come into the bend to reach your arm up and over. So you choose. So you think of this as a buffet. You choose what works best for you. Today on this side only, I'm going to just place my hand on my shoulder. So sitting up tall, hold the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. So the choices is hand at your hip, or maybe taking your hand to your shoulder, or reaching up and over. And then on exhale, keeping both sits bones on the chair, come into the side bend. So you turn a soft gaze looking down towards the floor to release your neck, and then breathe into your side body. Can you imagine breathing in below your side body? So you're bending towards the side that is holding the chair. Then palm face down, release. So let's explore this on the other side. Sit up tall, take hold of the underside of the chair. Extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. Soft bend in your elbow, nothing rigid. On inhale, reach up, take your arm to your place. And then on exhale, come into your side bend. As you turn a soft gaze, looking down towards the floor. So again, you can have your hand at your hip, maybe on your shoulder. or reaching up and over, whatever works best for you. Can you feel you're creating space in your rib cage? And come out of the pose on this side. So let's practice the side bend one more time on each side. This time, maybe notice if you feel a little shift, a little difference. Sit up tall, take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. Inhale, bring your arm up to your place. On exhale, come into your side bend. So you turn a soft gaze looking down towards the floor. And come out of the pose on this side, take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into your side bend. And palm face down, release. And little wiggly fidget again. All right, so doing whatever your body's asking it to. So it is a little bit of nippy. It's a little bit nippy on the Sunshine Coast where I reside. So I am feeling a little bit of a chill, so I'm thinking it might be fun, a good thing to do a little body tapping. So let's begin tapping on the outside of your thighs, going down. If your skin is sensitive, maybe hover in those places for a moment or two. And then come on down, 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 and wherever it feels comfortable for you. So if you know going into a deep bend is contraindicated, please honor that. And then come on up the inside. So inner thighs, maybe even get into your groin area a little, and then tap, tap, tap. And then finish up the movement that you're on. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. This is good for our brain health, particularly our memory. So we're going to start the tapping from the inner thighs this time. And come on down. And tap up the outside. And finish up the tapping that you're on. Sit up tall. And then I'd like to invite you to sweep your hands up your arms. And so I love me. And because I love me, I can love all of you. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to lean forward in your chair a little bit. Take your hands to your lower back and give your lower back a little massage. If possible, you could reach up a little higher where your kidneys and adrenal glands live. Send them some love. It's important to keep that area warm. So adrenal glands and kidneys close to the surface. Adrenal glands are almond shaped and they sit on our kidneys. And then when you're ready, if you can, place one hand on your sacrum, sit up tall, and then sweep your hands forward. So inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. And now when you're ready, leaning back in your chair, I'd like you to place one hand on your belly, the other hand on top. And then moving clockwise, move your hands in circular pattern, circular movements. So we're massaging our organs. So our belly, so our liver, our stomach. We want a nice soft yoga belly. And then when you're ready again, maybe just sweeping our hands. Inhale, let, exhale, go. And so again, maybe take a moment or two, notice how you feel. So I'd like to suggest that it's not about what we look like in our yoga practice, right? We don't need fancy clothes, fancy props. The diagnostic tool is how do I feel? And so no judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so from here, like to transition into a practice that I call sun salutation, essentially seated, modified for the chair. So sun salutation can be heating, energizing. And so make sure that you have what you need to set yourself up, particularly if you know you have balance issues. Or not issues, I hate that word, because I hate the word hate too. If you know balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have what you need to keep yourself stable in your chair. So we're sitting up nice and tall, arms by our sides, spiral our palms open. Feet placed evenly on the floor or on your footrests. Take your hands to your heart space. Bow your head to your heart. So that gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. Reach your arms up. So gentle back arch. So arms reach up as high as feels comfortable for you. Lift from above your shoulder blades. Lift your heart. Hinging at the hips. Take hold of the underside of the chair. Come forward a little. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. As you're ready, pushing down through your inner heel. So this might be an energetic pushing down. And place one hand on each of your thigh. Come back up to a neutral spine. As ready, if it's available to you and you would like, tuck your leg under the front of the chair. Toes tucked under. Maybe a yoga buddy's helping you with this. Maybe today you're visualizing the movement. If you'd like to add your arm, your hand can be at your hip. In gold pose, or maybe reaching up along your ear, you choose. So this is a lunge. Float your arm down, step your leg forward, modified downward facing dog in the chair. Forearms on your lap, lengthen your spine, tuck your chin in slightly. Feel that nice diagonal line. As ready, baby cobra, place your hands on your thighs. Lower your head, then lift up through the crown of your head. Downward facing dog, forearms on your lap, lengthen your spine, chin in. Push your sits bones back in the chair. As ready, pushing down through the inner heels, place one hand on each of your thigh, come back up to a neutral spine. Let's explore coming into a lunge on the other side. Step your leg under the front of your chair. We're visualizing the movement. Hand at your hip in gold pose, or maybe reaching up along your ear. Float your arm down, step your leg forward, hinging at the hips, spiral your palms open, reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Lift from above your shoulder blades, lift your heart, and then maybe your hands come together in prayer down through the heart. So let's practice one more round. Arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Open up your armpits. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. Bring your hands to your heart space. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up. Gentle back arch. Lift from above your shoulder blades. Lift your heart. Hinging at the hips. So actually, let's begin by moving our sternum, our chest towards our thighs. And then hinging from the hips. Flat back. Tuck your chin in slightly. And pushing down through the inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come on back up. As ready, you'll come into the lunge. We'll start on the other side this time. Tuck your leg under the front of the chair. Sit up tall, hand at your hip in gold pose or reaching up to the sky. Float your arm down, step your leg forward. So let's come into downward facing dog. So this time I'd like to give you a choice. So we can do the version where our hands are resting on our arms, forearms on our lap, or maybe it feels okay if you're grounded in your chair to reach your arms up on a diagonal. So your hands reach towards where the seam and the ceiling meet the wall. Baby cobra, hands on your thighs, lower your head, lift up through the crown of your head. Downward facing dog, so it's forearms on your lap or maybe reaching arms on a diagonal. Pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Let's come into a lunge on the other side. Tuck your leg under the front of the chair. If it works for you, maybe tuck your toes under. Hand at your hip and goalposts are reaching up along your ear. Step your leg forward, hinging. Well, no, I'm going to cue a little different. Move your chest forward, so towards your thighs, hinging at the hips. Spiral your palms open, reach up to the sky. Yeah, maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart space, and maybe notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Then come on, seated back in your chair comfortably. So we're going to come down off the mountain. And I'd like to invite you to maybe close your eyes softly or soft gaze downwards and ask yourself, is my body talking to me? And if so, what is it saying? And then do whatever your body's asking of you. So it might be a repetition of something we did earlier in the class. Maybe something entirely different. So this is an opportunity for you to do your own thing. And then I think from here we'll transition into a yogic breathing technique called one-to-one ratio. And then short guided meditation, your final relaxation. So find a comfortable sitting position. Feel free to adjust your lighting. Sit in a way that you feel comfortable, however, you're still alert. I'm actually going to take my little blanket today and put that on my lap. Place the yoga mat rolled up along the spine. And so 1-to-1 ratio. So this is a calming breathing technique. And the way it's practiced is we breathe in such a way that our inhales and our exhales are the same duration and quality. And so place your hands on your lap or wherever feels comfortable for you. Maybe draw your hands in towards your hips a little. And so we'll begin with inhale. So inhale slowly, exhale. And so I'm going to cue the breath on the inhale, count of 3, on exhale, count of 3. So inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. If my count doesn't work for you, feel free to breathe in whatever way that feels comfortable for you. So it might be less or more. So for a few more breaths, 1-to-1 ratio. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. So allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. So your natural rhythm, maybe observing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And so an invitation now to prepare, come into whatever comfortable position you'd like for your meditation. So I have a friend that would suggest the right way to set yourself up for meditation is whatever way feels comfortable for you. And so feel free if you have the ability to recline, if you'd like to recline. It might be that you're seated upright in a chair. Your choice, of course. And so I'd like to share a meditation that I learned from Thich Nhat Hanh, Zen Buddhist monk who passed away a few years ago, beloved by many. And so find that comfortable sitting position. Eyes are closed softly, focused inward or soft gaze downwards. Place your hands in what I refer to as the mudra, the hand gesture of calm abiding. So maybe palms face down, draw your hands in towards your hips. Look down and into your heart, see what you can see, and then breathe into your heart. So breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. And breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So just sit in silence for a moment or two, the gentle reminder. Breathing. We'll come into whatever comfortable position you'd like for your final relaxation. This is meant to be a deep, conscious relaxation. We're not meant to fall asleep in it. If you happen to fall asleep, it's not rocket science, just means you're tired. And so roll your shoulders back and down. So not a big scrunch up towards our ears. Essentially, we're inviting our shoulders to soften away from our ears. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, palm up or down as desired. Eyes are closed softly or soft gaze downwards. So I was always intrigued by the fact that if we have a soft gaze downwards on the floor, 3 or 4 feet in front of us, that can be calming for our nervous system. Soft palms, soft yoga belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow the breath to reflect the pose. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. So feel free to touch the areas in your face, and I'm curious if that feels comfortable for you. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows, wide forehead. silently, if you like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. If it's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our yoga belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. Without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. So our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Your eyes are closed, gradually blink your eyes open. And then lastly, an invitation to take a look around the space you're in and name 3 objects that you see to bring us back to make those neural connections. So thank you, everyone. Notice how you feel before and after yoga class, questions or feedback. Love to hear from you. I'm not sure if my tech host is still here. Saw some notes kind of come up on the screen, so it's looking a little suspicious right now. Oh, there you go. Hey, Kassar. And I'm going to move into the screen a little closer. And so, Kimberly, everyone, thank you. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. So feel free to take yourself off mute. Yeah, thanks, Raj. Thanks for that lovely message.
Yes, we'll call you about something.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks everyone for coming.
I've never tried it before. I tried it. I usually go for training, but I now have every other week for training. And so I was here for chair yoga and I thought that's awesome. I've tried it. That's amazing.
Oh.
But I don't know if I feel I can see only here down. I can see the whole thing. I still can't see the left side of a stroke, what happened 3 years ago, but I can hear part of things. Most of the things you did, I can do as well. I can move part of this step.
Yeah.
So I could see most of it all the time, the left. I can't see the right all the way, but it seemed like it was working for it. So I can go, like I said, every second Wednesday. So I'm hoping it'll come through. And I like that. So thanks for your help.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining us today, love. I look forward to seeing you again. Beautiful smiles.
Sounds good. See y'all later.
Ciao.
Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks, Kassar, love.
Yeah, bye-bye. See you
Bye.